Hey, happy Monday here in the fascist states of America. And I use that phrase on the precipice of this breaking story because it's been commonly asked since before the 2016 election, certainly during Biden's term, and now prior to 2024's election, what's going to be that one thing that brings Donald Trump down finally to his knees? And I'm here to share with you in this breaking story, I'm not sure it's going to be one thing. I think it's going to be a concatenation of things. And what it's going to be are the people who've stood in experience and in life, both who have served, citizens and elected officials who have experience that Donald Trump doesn't have and the people surrounding him doesn't. And I'm going to show you that story in just a few seconds. But with regards to both what's happening in Los Angeles and also the macro, take a listen to this Marine.
My name is Jonathan Chang. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. Served aboard Camp Pendleton from 2015 to 2018 with the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force. And this new statement by the president threatening to use active duty Marines on U.S. citizens is abhorrent. This goes against the Posse Comitatus Act. This goes against everything that we stand for as a country. I am pissed outside the White House. I didn't expect to be here. We need to wake up.
And now hear the truth of the conversation California Governor Gavin Newsom had with Trump before, and yet
days to the president about any of this?
Yeah, we talked for almost 20 minutes. Issue never came up. I mean, I kept trying to talk about L.A. He wanted to talk about all these other issues. We had a very decent conversation.
When was this?
This was late Friday night, I think about 1:30 plus his time.
After the protests had started here?
After the protests, and he never once brought up the National Guard. He's a stone-cold liar. He said he did. Stone-cold liar. Never did. It was a very civil conversation. I've always wanted to approach engagement with the President of the United States in a respectful and responsible way. But there's no working with the president. There's only working for him. And I will never work for Donald Trump.
And don't be surprised by the fact that every single Democratic governor in the country just did this. Breaking today, June 9th, every Democratic governor just signed on to a statement slamming Trump for abusing his power and sending the National Guard into L.A. This is what unity looks like, shared as a statement everywhere. Statement from Democratic governors on Donald Trump's use of California's National Guard. President Trump's move to deploy California's National Guard is an alarming abuse of power. Governors are the commanders-in-chief of their National Guard, and the federal government activating them in their own borders without consulting or working with a state's governor is ineffective and dangerous. Further, threatening to send the U.S. Marines into American neighborhoods undermines the mission of our service members, erodes public trust, and shows the Trump administration does not trust local law enforcement. It's important we respect the executive authority of our country's governors to manage their National Guards, and we stand with Governor Newsom, who has made it clear that violence is unacceptable and that local authorities should have been able to do their jobs without the chaos of this federal interference and intimidation. Check out this breaking story from a former vice chief of the National Guard. Breaking news. Former acting vice chief of the National Guard Bureau, retired Major General Randy Manner, criticizes President Trump sending National Guard to L.A. against the wishes of California governor in statement to @Fox News. In quotes, the president's federal deployment of the National Guard over the official wishes of a governor is bad for all Americans concerned about freedom of speech and states' rights. The governor has the authority and the ability to respond to the civil disturbances with law enforcement capabilities within his state, augmented as necessary by requesting law enforcement assistance from other governors. There are over 1 million badged and trained members of law enforcement in this country for the governor to ask for help if he needs it. While this is presently a legal order, it tramples the governor's rights and obligations to protect his people. This is an inappropriate use of the National Guard and is not warranted. When you have people who've actually served in the position of what you're supposedly commanding, calling you out, it is going to catch up with you eventually. And if you think he came out of nowhere, no, he didn't. He even gave this warning, just so you have it in context, this warning about President Trump before the election.
Joining us now, another retired general who is raising the alarm about the dangers of a possible second Trump term, 2-star Major General Randy Manner. Give us your own impressions. Why are you so alarmed about the possibilities of a second Trump term? What would it mean for this nation?
So I think it's very important for all the viewers to understand a few things about what is the Trump campaign and what is President Trump. He's authoritarian. It's nationalistic. It's far right. It's intolerant of dissent. It has a contempt for the rule of law. It requires direct obedience to a powerful leader, and it requires the supremacy of one ethnic group. Well, I just gave you the definition of what fascism is.
I'll say it now, and I'll leave it at this. There are far more of us than there are them. Stay frosty.